dude. Bro, if this guy is like, if this guy figures out what's going on in your constitution, like, that's a L. Like, that's all I can say, okay? Look at my Supreme Court. Look at my Supreme Court justice, dog. Candidate was just like, we'll give you free healthcare, just don't ask any other questions. They're gonna hold you in contempt of court. Oh my god, dude. This is so silly, dude. This is silly as fuck. Okay, let's keep going.
Like this.
It's never easy, but honestly, I mean, somebody has to take them. I get asked that question more often than almost anything else. How can you do a case like this? How can you defend such a person? The reality of it is that everybody in our system deserves a strong, proper, and effective defense.
Even before going into the courtroom, there was really a sense of excitement. I think a lot of the family thought that because the verdict did come so quickly, just over a day of deliberations, they truly believed that this was going to be a guilty verdict. Then going into the courtroom, that simply continued. The relief that went over this, it was really almost unbelievable to hear the sighs that went through everyone in that courtroom. Carolyn.
Both Michael Rafferty and Terry Lynn McClintock were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for 25 years.
Boom. Absolutely fucking cumster, dude. Nice. Wait, did he say 25 years? Oh, with the ability to request parole in 25. Okay, the coldest case ever solved. We got that. We got the case of Anthony Palma.
In the lexicon of forensic science, few terms have come more into the wider public consciousness than DNA evidence. DNA analysis was first put to the use of solving an open murder case in 1987, when 27-year-old Colin Pitchfork was linked to the rape and murder of two 15-year-old girls. Linda.
What the fuck? Is there gonna be fucking blood in this? I don't know. Well, I mean, there is some here. I see it. Hold on. This one's gonna be. This is a JCS imitation, like literally. It's mostly just interrogation footage. There might be actual footage though. Do a different video. Lots of good videos with JCS. Let me know tier content and safe. Barely sociable. The woman in the Rafferty case managed to pose as an Aboriginal and gets moved to a minimal security healing lodge. What? Were these the people that decided that? Just saying. They put him on the nice list instead of the naughty list. That one is called the Elizabeth Warren technique. True. It might look like that, but at least they're more progressive and give us health care. Your Supreme Court didn't give you health care. But at least, like, it's not preventing health care like ours 100% would. Oh, this is the fucking...
At this point in time, I'm sure many of you are familiar with the Silk Road or some parts of its history.
This is the dark
With
side of the Silk
popularity
Road.
of cryptocurrency, many people are now aware of these dark web marketplaces. And just because the Silk Road...
Is this Corpse Husband? What the fuck? Oh my god, dude. He's got that buttery voice, dude.
Road no longer exists, nothing has stopped countless other illegal marketplaces from taking their position. Wherever there's money to be made, there are always people willing to fight or go to extreme lengths to get that reward. Rarely do we ever get to pull back the curtain and see exactly what goes on the dark web. But today, that's a little bit different. Today, we're going to be reading through some of the bone-chilling messages sent by the owner of the Silk Road. And naturally, you might be curious as to what lengths that person had to go to keep business running smoothly. And these logs will give you a pretty good idea into the paranoia involved with running these operations. These message logs are one hell of a read and a disturbing look into the dark side of the internet. So with that being said, today we're going to take a look at the Silk Road's hit list.
Now to that stunning arrest of the drug kingpin who goes by the name Dread Pirate Roberts, appears to have cornered the internet drug market. His real name is Ross Ulbricht and his website Silk Road.
Court documents say Silk Road sold $1.2 billion worth of drugs and illegal services in just under 3 years.
Do you assume, or should we assume, that the NSA was involved in corroborating or gathering evidence which they might have denied in the actual trial?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, that was easy enough.
You're the Dread Pirate Roberts. Admit it.
With pride.
But the surprise of the sentencing, one of the things that the government contended in its case was that he actually solicited the killings of as many as 6 people to prevent his identity. What role do you think that had in the sentencing?
Silk Road user threatened to reveal the identities of thousands of others. So investigators say Ulbricht tried to execute a murder for hire on that user, offering $150,000.
Is it a fair trial? No, I don't think so.
In a way, Ross Ulbricht is the American dream. He's an entrepreneur. He saw a new market. He went for it. I mean, that's like, is that any different from the genesis of Coca-Cola or General Motors or Philip Morris? General Motors kill their customers. Philip Morris kill their customers. Coca-Cola kill their customers and workers. This guy is just an entrepreneur. He's simply embracing the explicit structure and policies of the United States capitalism. There's no difference at all.
Jesus Christ.
Drugs is illegal.
Vegan take is right, dude. That is such a vegan take, dude. What the fuck? I mean, he's right, but it's like, it is literally the same exact fucking argument that vegans, it's a vegan ass argument. When you like look at animal abuse and you're like, wow, that's kind of fucked up that there's animal abuse, and a vegan will immediately be like, oh, well, you eat meat. Fuck you.
Depending on who you ask, Ross Ulbricht is someone who is either regarded as a saint or a dangerous criminal. And I don't think this guy is either of those things personally, but I do need to give a fair bit of context before we get into the actual messages I want to go over. Ross Ulbricht's case is widely covered on the internet, so I don't want to act like I'm the first one to mention this. But the thing is, whenever there is coverage of this topic, for some reason, these messages are completely left out. I'm going to go over Ross's trial at the end of this video, so I ask that you hold all opinions or what you know previously until you've watched the entirety of this video.
He's not a criminal or a saint. He's a libertarian with consistent views. Okay, then that's really fucking freaky, okay? That's not a, at least maybe not in this community, that's not going to be a saving grace here, okay? When motherfuckers say, oh, I'm a libertarian with consistent views, you know what that reminds me of? You know what that tells me? That tells me that you're on board with child labor, that you're also on board with, like, child trafficking, okay? Some Rothbard shit, okay? That's like, when you tell me you're a libertarian with consistent values, I think to myself, you know, this dude is fine with, like, producing a child so he can sell it. In the child marketplace, which is a real libertarian concept.
To begin this story, let's go back to 2011. The very first mention of the Silk Road website came from a forum called shroomery.org, dated...
Hold on. Let me make it easier for you. There you go. Have fun at Psychono's channel.
January 27th, 2011, where one user by the name of Altoid started a new thread that read the following. I came across this website called Silk Road. It's a Tor hidden service that claims to allow you to buy and sell anything online anonymously. I'm thinking of buying off of it, but I wanted to see if anyone here had heard of it or could recommend it. I found it through silkroad.wordpress.com, which, if you have...
That's not what he said. He said Silk Road 420, bro.
A Tor browser, it redirects you to the real site at this onion link. Let me know what you think. This post got a couple of replies and was later buried, but since it is the first mention of the site anywhere on the internet, and the fact that he said let me know what you think at the end of it, it was believed that this was some sort of advertising tactic, which caused the FBI to look into the username of who Altoid was. Conveniently, the moniker Altoid also had an account on Bitcoin Talk, the official Bitcoin forum. If you look through this forum user's post history, you'll start to realize that this person had quite a few Bitcoins to their name. The most notable...
He had 80 Bitcoin at the time? What does that mean? How much money does that mean now? No, not then. I'm saying, is 80 Bitcoin just... Wait. Wait. He has 22,000 Bitcoin?
However, Bitcoins to their name.
Well, I got 80 out of 22K Bitcoins out of my account. Oh my God, he had 22,000 Bitcoin. Wait, what is the value of 22,000 Bitcoin right now? How many dollars is 22K Bitcoin at the moment? That's 884,714,600 dollars, dude. My man was about to be a billionaire, dude.
The most notable, however, was the final post from Altoid that was dated October 11th, 2011, and is still up to this day, and it reads the following. Hello. Sorry if there's another thread for this kind of post, but I couldn't find one. I'm looking for the best and brightest IT pro in the Bitcoin community to be the lead developer in a venture-backed Bitcoin startup company. The ideal candidate would have at least several years of web application development experience, having built applications from the ground up, a solid understanding of OOP, and software architecture is a must. Experience in a startup environment is a plus, or just being super hardworking, self-motivated, and creative. Compensation can be in the form of equity or a salary, or somewhere in between. If interested, please send your answers to the following email. This email address, in part with the other posts on his forum account, ultimately led the FBI to start tracking Ross in an ongoing investigation.
Yeah, oops.
Sometime after this discovery, a package of Ulbricht's was intercepted in the mail that contained various fake IDs, all with Ulbricht's face on it. When he was questioned about the fake IDs at his doorway, he stated that they weren't his and that anyone could have bought them online at some place like the Silk Road. Ross Ulbricht was monitored up through...
Dude, come on. Anyone could have bought it at this place called Silk Road. You heard of it? Let me know what you think about it. I heard the fucking guy who made it is like pretty hot. You know what I'm saying? Like the Silk Road guy. I don't know who it is. I don't know why. It's just like kind of a weird website, but like I heard the dude might be sexy.
2013, where undercover agents had tracked him to the San Francisco Public Library. By then, investigators knew his computer would encrypt itself if it was closed, so they had to get him with his computer open. Due to this proposed dilemma, 2 undercover agents created a diversion by pretending to be a couple fighting nearby. This caught Ross off guard, which caused him to get out of his seat at the library, where another agent ran in and snatched his computer while it was still open. Ross was caught logged into the mastermind section or dashboard on his computer, and inside his computer, on top of that, was a full diary dedicated to the creation of the Silk Road, as written by him.
Someone I knew in college ordered fake IDs, I think on the Silk Road, and they came sandwiched inside of a built balsa wood airplane kit from China. It was bizarre. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that fake ID stuff works, but if someone were to purchase it off of Silk Road from China, sometimes it would come inside of a shoebox in the bottom heel part of a shoe, like carved into the bottom of a shoe. Like, I don't know how that works at all. Obviously, it's not me, and I don't know how to do that. But I've heard in a video game that when you buy fake IDs from China, it would come inside of a shoe, like in literally the heel part of a shoe, like carved into it. It's just crazy that that's how that would happen. Our Molly came in like clown balloons is the purest shit ever, and definitely from China into Kentucky. He's hot from certain angles, but not actually. Cool. Are you talking about the fucking Silk Road guy?
Now that you have a somewhat general understanding as to how Ross Ulbricht was caught by the feds, it's time to get to the main point of this video. First and foremost, let me introduce you to some of the characters that are going to be in this transcript. Dread Pirate Roberts is Ross Ulbricht, and this is a reference to the movie Princess Bride. If you're familiar...
How'd you manage to get on Silk Road but not drag files into a game directory to install a mod? I actually literally never got on Silk Road. I don't know how to do it. Don't fucking cap me, dude. I'm too much of a boomer. Like, I don't know how to do that shit. You hear that, FBI agents?
Familiar with the movie The Princess Bride, then you'll realize how clever of a name Dread Pirate Roberts actually is, because it insinuates that multiple people ran the website, but more on that later. The next character that I'd like to go over is Lucy Drop, who was one of the top vendors on the Silk Road. Lucy Drop became a well-known vendor, as I said, and built up a very, very, very strong reputation prior to exit scamming. If you're not familiar with exit scamming, it is essentially when you build up a ton of reputation as a seller and then completely cash out and don't fulfill orders. Leading up to the messages we're about to read, Lucy Drop claimed that they were in prison for 7 months and that they had a business partner that stole their account. Go figure. If that doesn't sound sketchy enough, when Lucy Drop returned to the forums, they claimed that they were sad because they lost everything and everything was stolen from them, and on top of that, they claimed they wanted to come back and get their old account frozen and that they would never sell again and that they just wanted to wish everyone a good life. There are striking similarities between Lucy Drop and another scammer. This infamous vendor went by the name Tony76. They also exit scammed in a very, very similar way by building up reputation over a few months and then running a sale. Both vendors were from a certain part in Canada, and both of them sold.
It's like the perfect place to scam. It's like, what are you going to do? Go to the fucking Better Business Bureau and be like, hey, I was trying to buy ecstasy on the internet. And this guy fucking did what is known as a Lucy Drop. You want to know what a Lucy drop is? Yeah, when you know a salesperson builds a reputation only to like start scamming people. So like, you know, I spent like hundreds of dollars on ecstasy that never arrived. It's kind of fucked up. Or an exit scam, not a Lucy drop. Sorry. It's an exit scam. My bad. Not a Lucy drop.
Sold the exact same type of product. On top of all of that, both of
it
them
up.
shared
Lucy
very
drop
similar
is their name. Shut up, Chad. I know.
idiosyncrasies when it came to typing. Even 6 years ago, it was speculated that they were the same person. As a result of being a scammer in the marketplace, Tony76 was not liked by Ross Ulbricht because scamming on his marketplace damaged his brand. Keep all of this in the back of your mind as we get into these messages. The next character that is referenced in this log is Friendly Chemist, who wasn't a vendor, but someone who claimed to be a middleman between the Hells Angels and Lucy Drop. Throughout these messages, Friendly Chemist is frantic, and he claims that he needs $500,000, or else he's going to release the names of thousands of customers on the Silk Road. I'll let most of the messages speak for themselves for this character, but let's move on to the final character. Lastly, we have Red and White, and in these messages, they are supposedly from the Hells Angels. This is the person that Friendly Chemist is in debt to for about $700,000. Now finally, with all of that context out of the way, let's get into these messages one by one, and I'll give analysis as we go along. Let's get into that.
Hells Angels, dude. How the fuck do the Hells Angels know how to like operate like a Tor browser and shit? I thought those guys were all like a bunch of chud motorcycle guys. What the fuck? They don't? All the gangs are involved? They don't, you ape, it's CIA? I thought you didn't know how to get on? I don't know how to get on. I literally don't, dude. I'm just saying stuff to make it seem like I do, but I don't know how to get on. Ever since they learned how to download conservative flag PDFs, it's been downhill.
Just a side note before we get into these messages, this is a long read, so I highly advise that you get comfortable, or if you just want to listen, that works too. Where you can find these messages is Government Exhibit 936-14-CR-68. Now that you know all the characters, let's begin. So basically, the first message comes from March 13th, 2013 at 8:50 a.m. from Friendly Chemist. The subject line of this message is very important. The message says, "Can you please get Dread Pirate Roberts to message me right away? It's very serious. It's a matter of life and death. It also has to do with identities of dozens of top vendors and thousands of Silk Road customers. It's very important, so please get him to me right away." Friendly Chemist says, "I will not talk to anyone but Dread Pirate Roberts, so please do not ask me what it's concerning." The next morning, on March 14th, 7:57 a.m., 2013, Ross Ulbricht then responds to Friendly Chemist and says, "What can I do for you?" Friendly Chemist then gets back to Ross on March 14th at 11:26 a.m. He says, "What's going on? When are you paying Lucy Drop? I've been waiting, and he keeps saying he's waiting for you to pay. You don't know me, but I'm Lucy Drop's supplier. The only reason I lent Lucy Drop so much product is because he showed me the chat logs of you and him talking and how you made him the #1 seller on the Silk Road. I lent him $900,000 of product and he paid me $200K and started avoiding me."
Motherfucker's like, I'm about to be the not so friendly chemist, if you know what I'm saying. God damn, this is fucking good.
"I see you and him still have listings up, so I know for a fact he does not have any product. Why are you guys scamming people for hard-earned money? I stopped by Lucy Drop's house and he doesn't live there anymore, and his phone goes straight to voicemail, but I know he's been on Silk Road, and he says he's waiting for you. What's the deal? Where's my money? Why is Lucy Drop still selling when I know for a fact he has no product because I supplied him? I'm freaking out here. That was not my money. I'm getting scared. My wife said she saw people at my kid's school, and I'm really getting worried. I put a keylogger on Lucy Drop's computer when he left the room one day when I was there, so I could see what he was doing, and I see he's still selling when I know he doesn't have product. Why are you guys pulling a scam? Why? I also have the identities of 9 top vendors and 15 smaller vendors and thousands of customers of Lucy Drops. I don't want any trouble, but I want my money, and if you haven't paid Lucy Drop, pay him. If you have to pay him, then tell him to pay me. I'm scared for my family. If you don't believe me, here is Lucy's password info. Here we see the attached password from Lucy Drop and the withdraw password, which is used to pull money out of the Silk Road. And then he says, I will not do anything until you—
My man, literally, how do you drop a keylogger in someone's fucking laptop or a PC like this?
message me and tell me what—
There's no shot, right? USB and run a program? No, but like I thought Lucy Drop was literally Dread Pirate Robert, so he's bluffing, right?
What's going on. Please get him to pay me as soon as possible, or pay him ASAP if you haven't. This is my life here, and I'm scared for my family because of the money I owe. So here we have a guy claiming that he put a keylogger on Lucy Drop's computer, and that computer has now been lost because it was stolen by the partner, conveniently enough.
Okay, don't tell me anything.
On March 14th, 2013 at 7:34 p.m., Ross Ulbricht would respond and say, I'm really sorry for your situation, but I never had such a conversation with Lucy Drop. He/she must have made it up to trick you. We have no special deal whatsoever. Friendly Chemist would then respond at 10:54 p.m. and say, I find it very hard to believe he showed me chat logs talking to you about you making him the #1 seller and being his partner on the product I gave him. I would not have given him that much product otherwise, especially because you made him the #1 seller. Please don't screw me like this. My life is in danger because of this money I owe. I also know about the other vendor accounts his friends were using. I have access to those customer lists too, from when Lucy Drop was dropshipping for them. I'm not this kind of person, but the only card I have left to play is dropping 24 vendor identities and thousands of customer details on the web and the forums. What do you and Lucy Drop think will happen if thousands of usernames and order amounts, addresses all get leaked? All of those people will leave Silk Road and be scared to use it again. Those vendors will all be busted and all their customers will be exposed too, and never go back to Silk Road. I don't want to do that. I just want my money for my product, my life is in danger, and maybe my family. Those people I borrowed money from are not regular people. I can't believe I was so stupid and trusting. Just get Lucy Drop to pay me my money and get my money as soon as possible. And if you haven't paid him yet, then pay, so he pays me the money he owes. Please, I'm freaking out here. A day later, on March 15th, 2013 at 6:49 a.m., Ross Ulbricht would then respond and say, I will get in touch with Lucy Drop and get back to you. Send me all of the information you've harvested so I can verify it. 4 minutes later, at 6:53 a.m., Dread Pirate Roberts would send a message to Lucy Drop with the subject line, Friendly Chemist. The message said, Hi Lucy Drop, I've been contacted by a member named Friendly Chemist. He claims to know you and have done business with you in real life. He's making wild accusations and threats against you and me and other members of my community. If you indeed know him, could you please provide me with his name and address? I'd like to stop him in his tracks by revealing that I know who he is and will retaliate if he does anything stupid. Any other info you can provide is also welcome. Thanks and sorry for the trouble. DPR. P.S. Please don't contact him. I'd like to handle him myself.
What the fuck? This
is a really stupid move if Lucy Drop's computer was actually keylogged, but under those circumstances, I guess he's testing the bluff. On March 15th at 9:17 a.m., Friendly Chemist would then get back to DPR and say, I didn't harvest anything. Lucy Drop kept a log of every single transaction he made on the Silk Road like an idiot. There are thousands of orders, and there are over 20 vendor identities from where he did biz with them. Some with phone numbers too, and over 5,000 customer identities. He also ran more than one account on here and seems to be still vending on those accounts too, and did everything from one computer, so I have their info too. You already know that I have access to his account, and you can see most of his orders are not encrypted, so I don't know why you're asking me to send all the info to you now. The only reason I can understand this is unless you wanted to warn all those people so you and Lucy Drop don't have to pay me. His username, his password, and his withdraw password. You say you're not working with him, but you still haven't closed his account when you know he—
Wait, but if he has a keylogger, I guess if he has a keylogger, he could technically see the emails, right? No, he couldn't see the emails because then you would have to. Just the password, he could. I mean, if he knows his email and passwords, why didn't he just fucking log in and look at his emails?
he is scamming, but I will give you the address of some of the customers and you can see he kept logs this whole time. Here are some of his very first sales when he was selling 3 tab samples when he first started vending. You can contact them to see if it's true. Clearly, Ross was being threatened with real identities, and this is why the government actually redacted this in the court documents. Getting back to Friendly Chemist's message, it continues as, and the log goes like that up till today, every day, and that's just one of his accounts. He has 3, and he uses each one for a different thing. But I'm sure you know this, or else why else would you let his account stay open? I don't want to do anything with this info, and I won't. I just want my money. I'm scared for my life, and you and him are not giving me an answer. Maybe if I post all the vendor identities publicly and nobody sells on the Silk Road, Lucy Drop will have no more sales or people to scam on his other account. I just want what's owed to me, and I will go away. I don't know why you people scam like this. People work hard for their money, and you are playing with people's lives. I will wait for your reply from Lucy Drop, but I don't know how much longer I can wait.
Dude,
how can I explain to these people that I don't have their money when I said I would have it on a certain day, and now I'm late? These are not normal people, and they're getting angry with me. Just get Lucy Drop to resolve this, or pay him, or he can pay me. I did a favor, and this is not fair to play with my life like this. Later that same day, DPR would get back to Friendly Chemist and said, I'll let you know when I hear from Lucy Drop. On March 15th at 8:42 p.m., Friendly Chemist would once again...
This is insane because it's like a bunch of fucking nerds and like, you know, your fucking school teacher or something got together on the internet and they're like executing drug deals to the tune of nearly $1 million fucking dollars. And the people that they're, of course, involved with are like the actual drug dealers. And those guys are going to fucking murder them, which is, it just makes it so strangely compelling. It's like Breaking Bad, but with nerds.
And message DPR pleading his case. I'll show the message here on screen, but I'm not going to read through it because it's basically the exact same thing he said earlier in that day. On March 16th at 5:22 a.m., Real Lucy Drop would join the Silk Road forums. Here, Real Lucy Drop would post the following thread. Do not buy from Lucy Drop on Silk Road. I can't talk about the specifics for security reasons, but I was in jail for more than 2 months, but less than 7. I got released very recently. Lucy Drop on Silk Road is not me. Do not buy from that account. My partner completely f***ed me over. I went to our spot and there's nothing there and he won't answer my phone calls.
What?
He took the work computer and everything else. He took my entire savings with him that was being used to keep the supply up. He took my entire life.
I can't tell if this is a cap or like cops sees this shit or something.
Somebody please get in contact with DPR or vendor support and have the account shut down immediately and freeze all the funds in that account. How can I contact DPR? I can't find a link to message him. I can prove to him that I'm the real Lucy Drop, but I do not have access to my PGP or any of my logins. If you ordered from me in the past, namely a couple of top vendors, I can give you details and you can verify/vouch that I am indeed the real Lucy Drop. Do not trust anything that is said from the Lucy Drop account. Do not send any funds. Do not finalize anything. I just want to point out that it's very convenient that after Lucy Drop exit scammed, that this entire story came about as soon as this Friendly Chemist guy shows up on the scene to blackmail. Just keep that in mind. On March 16th, 2013 at 2:15 p.m., DPR would send a message to Real Lucy Drop that said, Hi there, how did the new person gain access to your account? At 8:57 that same day, Real Lucy Drop would respond with a message that said, It's not a new person who took over the account. It was my partner in real life that I started Lucy Drop with. I was the one that actually handled the Lucy Drop account until I got arrested. I was picked up on a previous warrants and spent some time in jail. My partner took absolutely everything from me in that time. He took all the work computers, the Bitcoin wallets, all of the work product, and nearly my entire life savings and scammed a bunch of people in the process. Friendly Chemist was our middleman to one of our Lucy distributors. I called him after I got released and he's demanding I pay him some deal he had with my partner when I was in jail and telling me he will do something very stupid if he doesn't get paid. How do you know Friendly Chemist? Keep in mind at this point, Dread Pirate Roberts never once brought up Friendly Chemist to Real Lucy Drop. He brought it up to the other account. Regardless, the next day, at March 17th, 4:48 a.m., Dread Pirate Roberts would respond to Real Lucy Drop and say, I'm so glad you know him. He's gathered personal information about many of the customers who worked with Lucy Drop.
I mean, that's not a self-report. The guy might have reached out to the real Lucy Drop. You know what I mean? That we don't know. But I guess technically not, right? Because then the friendly chemist would literally tell DPR that he reached out to the real Lucy Drop or something. He's basically talking to himself in the forums.
Not sure if you're in control of the account back at the time or not, and has some other info on other vendors on Silk Road. Now he's trying to blackmail me and say that he'll release all of this info. If this happened, this would be terrible. I need his real-world identity so I can threaten him with violence if he were to release any names, addresses, or anything you have. It sounds like he's in a tough spot that your former partner put him in, but I can't get involved and I can't release those IDs. Thank you for any help you can provide. Lucy Drop would then respond at 10:59 p.m. the same day and say, I don't know how I feel about that violent solution. Remember that he also knows my real-world identity and has evidence on me as well. I'm sure you are aware.
Bro, he's writing exactly like... Real Lucy Drop is writing exactly like the friendly chemist. Like, exactly. It is a very unique way to type, but it is literally exactly the same. Like a fucking... Like a haiku or something, okay? So, this is a real sussy baka situation. Now, we already know that Lucy Drop has potentially a fake identity in the form of 2076. It's being read by the same voice, though, might not help. I mean, the only thing that's a little bit better is that it's like spelled. There's better spelling here.
Of what would happen to me if any of my information was to be released. If he had access to that computer, there's a lot more damaging stuff on there than just the identities of a bunch of vendors and a bunch of customers of mine. There is enough on that computer to put me away for a very
the forum does that weird spacing?
long time.
Oh, okay.
He's acting really erratic right now, understandably because of his given situation, but I will set up a meeting with him and try and reason with him. It is also in my best interest that he does not release anything, as well as in the best interest of this movement we are a part of, putting power in people's hands. I fucking hate when money does that to people. I am in contact with him, and I told him I am talking to you and I'm going to have a meeting with him and try and resolve this problem of ours. Ross Ulbricht then responds at 1:27 a.m., just a few hours later, and says, okay, Lucy, do me proud. On March 19th, 2013 at 9:36 a.m., Lucy Drop would respond with the following message. I went to the meeting with him and he is extremely frightened. He told me who he owes money to, and I understand his concern for his safety because they are not people you want to owe money to. He is freaking out and truly believes that his life and his family's life are in serious danger. He thinks that you don't take him seriously, and he said he was planning on releasing part of the information to show he is serious. I convinced him not to and reassured him that things would be okay.
What the fuck?
If that information gets leaked and those vendors get busted, I would get busted too. I tried not to show him that I was too concerned with his threats, but I'm not sure how to deal with him. He said he's been doing his research and he said he's discovered a flaw with Silk Road that buyers have never thought about. I'm assuming he's referring to the fact that the vendors all have people's addresses and can use it against Silk Road or the buyers themselves to extort money or what have you. He also kept talking about the shitstorm that would be caused by that much information being leaked by the media/police picking up on it and starting a mass panic. He said if we don't pay him, he will release the information, and if that does not work, he will go straight to the police with all the information and get into the witness protection program. The people he...
Wait, could you do that? Like that kind of... I mean, I guess you would, because you have to send it somewhere. Why didn't these people use P.O. boxes? I mean, it doesn't matter. Your P.O. box is literally still... Your P.O. box is traced back to you.
he borrowed the product from are a big criminal organization.
They have buyer information. Azan Pepela. Dog, I literally never used Silk Road. I don't know why you think I used Silk Road, dude. Shut the fuck up, chatter. I would be concerned for whoever has used it to buy fake IDs from China. You're being really sus? I'm not, dude. I never used Silk Road. Shut the fuck up.
In Canada Hell's Angels, not sure if you're familiar with them, and the police have been known to treat witnesses against them very well. This is saddening because this guy is not really like this, but I guess with the threat to his family's life, he is under extreme stress and acting out of character. I calmed him down a bit and told him I would find a way to help. That was somewhat of a lie on my part because I don't really know how. I can help him, but I wanted to reassure him that I didn't do anything drastic in the meantime while we find a solution. I told him that you would never really fully trust him to not use the information against him even if you got paid, and he said the following. I'm recalling this all from memory, so excuse me if it's not completely accurate. He said regardless of anything, he needs to pay the people as soon as possible or he's in grave danger. He offered me a deal because, as you know, selling on Silk Road was my income and he was my connection for Lucy. He said he wants to be paid and that he would give me product at his cost so that I could pay you back by selling and giving you the percentage of what he would normally put on top when he was selling it to me. He was putting 50% on top of his cost when he gave it to me, so he suggested that I start vending again and you take 50% of all sales. That way you could be paid back in full, I would be able to sell again on Silk Road, and the people he borrowed the product from would be paid back and he would be safe. I said that was a bad deal because you still have all the vendor's information and customers' information. He said that he'd be willing to give you his identity, talk to someone on the phone or verify, or give any other identifying information that could be confirmed as collateral, so we would never have to be able to use that information again. On March 20th, 2013 at 5:58 p.m.
What? Why
Dread
would
Pirate Roberts would say,
why would someone why would someone who has this information ever willingly like part ways with it when they could just like, especially after someone gives them money, why would they literally part ways with it when they could just extort the person for more, you know what I mean? Or like have like a dead man switch or something, you know? It's kind of fucking stupid. I'm just saying, it's like that's not going to comfort someone like DPR.
You know his real world identity, don't you? There is no way I will be handing cash over to a person who is threatening me and my community. Give me his ID so I can have some leverage in dealing with him. You said you don't know what to do now, so let me take over and give me all the info you have so I have the best chance of diffusing the situation. Lucy Drop then responds about an hour and a half later, basically reiterating what we just read about the 50% deal. At 3:29 p.m. that same day, Dread Pirate Roberts would respond and say, "Don't bother messaging me again if the message does not contain his personal information. I'm not fronting money to anyone, and I won't be blackmailed. I would also like the contact info/ID of the other Lucy Drop that ripped him off, and of his suppliers if possible. You don't know how to handle this situation, but I do. Stop showing this guy compassion. He's threatening your life and freedom, and my livelihood." On March 21st, 2013, at 12:21 a.m., Lucy Drop would respond and say, "If you really think this is a good idea to deal with him, I will give you his personal information you want about his identity. Please understand why I'm hesitant, as it is my freedom we're dealing with. I will also have no income since he was my connection for Lucy. Are there any positions open on Silk Road, support or otherwise? I could really use some sort of job as my partner completely effed me over. Let me know how to send the information to you, plain text, or give me a PGP key to use."
What the fuck, dude? That's so dumb, dude. Yo, you got a job for me, dude?
At 1:33 a.m., Dread Pirate Roberts...
Yo, libertarian guys on the internet are so wild, dude. They just have, like, no fucking self-awareness.
...would actually send a message to Friendly Chemist and say, "Have your suppliers contact me here so I can work something out with them. Do not tell them that I owe you money. That is not true and will only complicate matters. Tell them the truth, that the person who stole your money sold their product on my site and that you are now blackmailing me to get them their money. You should copy and paste this message to them." This is a really interesting move by Dread Pirate Roberts, or Ross Ulbricht, because he's trying to cut out Friendly Chemist, who is a middleman. By getting in contact with suppliers, he can directly grow the Silk Road, and that's the reason he's doing this. 3 minutes later, Lucy Drop would send a public key and the encrypted PGP message that contained the person's personal information. At 10:44 p.m. on March 21st, he would send a message back to Lucy Drop that says, "Please send me the exact address of Friendly Chemist. I might be able to make you a part-time mod. I'll run it by the staff." On March 25th at 10 a.m., a new user would pop up by the name of Red and White, and this is where the negotiating begins. "I was asked to contact you. We're the people Friendly Chemist owes money to. He tells us that you owe him money and a long story about some of this and some of that. As far as we're concerned, we gave him the product. Where it went and how does not matter. We told him he's only responsible for the missing product and money. We don't care if you stole it or borrowed it from him or anything. It was his responsibility to pay for it. He asked me to contact you anyways, so what did you want to talk to us about? At 6:27 p.m. the next day, Ross Ulbricht would get back to them. Sorry for the delayed response and thank you for getting in touch. We've had some technical difficulties over the past 24 hours I've had to deal with. Just to be clear, I do not owe him any money, but he has told me his situation and wants my help. I'm not entirely sure what the best action is to take, but I wanted to be in communication with you to see if we could come to a conclusion that works for everyone. Friendly chemist aside, we should talk about how we can do business. Obviously, you have access to a...
What is this?
Yeah, I'm gonna go somewhere.
Dude, we'll look at this later.
Illicit substances in quantity, and you are having issues with bad distributors. If you don't already sell here on Silk Road, I'd like you to consider becoming a vendor. Many people here purchase in bulk as well as retail quantities. Being a vendor, you'll have the protection that dealing anonymously in Bitcoin provides, and you'll have protection against people like Friendly Chemist.
Bro, this dude is pitching who he assumes are like serious fucking drug dealers, dude. He's like, oh shit, dude. Did one of the vendors on my website fuck you guys over? Hey, what's going on? I'm the guy who runs the website. Please, would you like to sell a fucking metric ton of whatever drugs you want to sell on my website? Dude, these guys are crazy, dude. What the fuck?
You off because all transactions are conducted through my escrow. I encourage you to read the wiki and forum. Links are in the footer. And consider becoming a vendor.
Bro, I love that. He's like, yo, come on, bro. Take a look at this Wikipedia link. He says to the fucking Hells Angels, potentially, what he thinks is like a big drug dealer.
So if there's anything I can do as an admin here to help you get involved with Silk Road, or anything I can do to help with your situation with Friendly Chemist, please let me know. At 8:08 p.m., Red and White would get back to him and say, this is interesting. How much is it possible to sell on here if we listed every product far cheaper than everyone else? We have a majority hold over most of the movement of products in Western Canada, one of the main ports in North America. I have researched your site and the concept seems interesting to me, as long as it is as anonymous as everyone makes it out to be. We produce a lot of things that would get this video demonetized, and
LSD, ketamine, MDMA, meth, GHB, and import cocaine and heroin.
import a lot of other things that would get this video demonetized in bulk amounts. We have a lot of workers who run their own sub-distribution networks for the streets, but if it's lucrative, we're always looking to expand. In my partner's eyes, all they see is that because of online dealing, we are out 700K, so I'm not sure if they're going to go for it. Friendly Chemist refuses to meet up with us because he fears what will happen. People are starting to suspect that he will go to the police.
Bro, Friendly Chemist made it seem like he was the chemist. Turns out, he's neither friendly nor a chemist, dude. Red and White is the real chemist. I mean, I don't know who these people are. I'm just assuming that they are like different people and not literally the same. You know what I mean? Another thing that it turned out, this relationship showed us, is that it's top of the hour, right? So it's time for a 60-second ad break. And, you know, listen, I'm gonna keep it $1.50 with you guys. If you no longer want to see the ads at the top of the hour, all you need to do is subscribe or use an ad blocker or a VPN. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things you can do to avoid the fucking ads. So, Twitch Prime is free, but here is the 1 minute ad break now. Very bold to do this after we found out NSA was monitoring all online activity. Isn't this before? When did we find out? When did Edward Snowden happen? What year was it? I don't remember anything. Motherfucker says 2001. Yeah, dude. Edward Snowden happened during 9/11, dude. Stupid. Certainly wasn't under the Obama administration or anything.
Which is not a problem. because he would never be able to give up anyone of importance since he has only had contact with low-level people in our group, and they always take precautions so that even if someone were to turn informant, they would not be able to get any charges to stick. It's a shame because he moved a fair amount of product. If he can get Friendly Chemist to meet up with us or pay his debt, then I'm sure I would be able to get people in our group to give this online side of business a try. As it stands right now, there are people looking for him, and since he has avoided our group, I'm not sure what will happen because he owes us money and is avoiding us. I looked around your site and the prices are absolutely absurd. I'm assuming most people here are selling 3 to 4 tiers below the actual producers and distributors. On March 27th, 2013 at 11:16 p.m., Ross Ulbricht would send another message to Lucy Drop, who hadn't followed up yet. He says, "Why haven't you gotten the address yet? Bring me Friendly Chemist's address and $1,000 in Bitcoin is yours." 22 minutes later, then Ross Ulbricht would send another message to Red and White that says, "In my eyes, Friendly Chemist is a liability, and I wouldn't mind if he was executed, but then you'd be out 700K. I'm not sure how much you already know about the guy, but I have the following info and I'm waiting on getting his address. Blake Krokoff lives in an apartment near White Rock Beach, City, White Rock, Province, British Columbia, has a wife and 3 kids. Let me know if it would be helpful to have his full address." In those categories, I think you could be doing over 1 million in sales a week within a few months. It's hard to estimate because it depends on how much market share you get, and also the site as a whole has been constantly growing. You will need to become very proficient at stealth shipping and packaging if you aren't already. Think vacuum sealers and leaving no forensic evidence on your packages. You will also want to ship from multiple drop points so you can't be traced back to your fake return address. If you go through with this, I would contact some of the top vendors and hire them to consult you. Ask the grass vendors because you wouldn't be competing with them and their product is very smelly and looked for by the USPS, so they have to be on top of their game. I would also start out listing smaller amounts so you can get the hang of it before putting up substantial inventory. You will also need to market yourself on the forums a little bit, maybe at first. Maybe send out some samples to critics. That is one price of anonymity. No one knows you, but if your first customer service is good and your product is cheap, people will quickly catch on and you wouldn't have to do much hustling. Regarding prices, there are some costs here that you don't otherwise see. I take 3 to 10% depending on the size of the transaction. If you hedge your escrow balance, and you should, that can cost up to 5% per transaction.
Wait, he doxed Chemist? Dude, I literally pee for like not even a minute and I lose so much, dude. What the fuck, dude? Okay, just give me the brief summary. What happened? He peed. He didn't pee. I peed. He doxed the Chemist. He found the dream docs. Yeah, he doxed and said he wouldn't mind him being executed. It's kind of at the heart of the entire fucking reason why he got clapped, right?
And then if you need to convert your bitcoins into another currency, there are other fees associated with that, though not much. There are also occasional losses due to packages lost in the mail. The rest of the markup I think is due, as you say, to the fact that most vendors are pretty far down the distribution chain. Regarding safety and anonymity, we've been operating for over 2 years now and open as a high-profile target, and we're still going strong. If you take the necessary precautions and use the technology, I think you can operate very securely and efficiently here, maybe more so than your current operations. March 28th, 2013, 9:01 a.m. Red and White goes on to say, "I already have that information, but thank you. 1 million a week sounds like it would be worth selling on here once we know exactly how everything works."
Bro, that's a lot of money, dude. Yo, drugs is good. Drugs is fucking good business, dude. $1 million a week, dude. Oh, sounds like a good fucking business. Like, no shit, dude. You make 52 million a year. That's a lot of money. That's like misgift money, dude.
Even if the commission was 15%, it wouldn't matter, as we lose more than 15% on the streets with street-level guys getting robbed or arrested and losing product, etc. Also, we've kidnapped Friendly Chemist partner Zen, and we're already on the hunt for Friendly Chemist. I'll keep you updated on the developments.
What the fuck?
So far, we are liking what we're seeing from the site, and this could be a good partnership for both of us. As far as I can see, this site lacks any big-time suppliers. It appears that mostly street-level independents are buying small amounts, an ounce to a kilo at a time, and selling on here. We have the product and the manpower to do big things here. Forgive me.
Yeah, hey, quick, by the way, we fucking kidnapped the dude's partner. You know, just casually kidnapping someone. Kind of buried the lead there, brother. What the fuck? He's like, yeah, $1 million sounds good. Also, we fucking kidnapped someone. He goes immediately back to what we like. We also like this website, dude.
But it all seems a little too good to be true right now, so we need a little bit of time to research this before we make any sort of commitment. At 4:59 p.m. the same day, DPR would respond and say, I understand, and that's great news about Zin. If I understand the situation, he's the one responsible for your loss. By the way, so this Zin character just came out of nowhere, but that's supposedly Lucy Drop's old partner. You should definitely take your time and start slowly. I would hate for you to make a mistake and be left with a bad experience. Just let me know if you need anything. Also, you should look into PGP. Many customers like to encrypt the receiving address, so you should know how to decrypt it. When you're ready, let me know what account you want to sell with, and I'll cover the $500 security deposit for you. 8:32 p.m. that same day, Red and White would say, we are familiar with PGP as we've been using it for years via email linked to our smartphones. It's the only other way we communicate with each other aside from in person, since phone calls are not secure.
Damn, bro. Yo, Hell's Angels are like, these guys are fucking nerds, dude. I thought Hell's Angels were like a bunch of fucking boomer bikers, you know what I mean? They're like, yeah, brother, look, let's make some bathtub meth. Like, I didn't realize they were like, actually, there's no way these are the Hell's Angels if this is the case. There's just no shot, dude. Why the fuck would the Hell's Angels be like, oh yes, I love using PGP and kidnapping people. There's no loss anymore? We were able to recover our missing product? What the fuck?
There's no loss anymore. Also, we were able to recover all of our missing product when we grabbed Zin.
Okay, this is... Okay, something does not add up here, okay? There's no shot that, like, fucking Hell's Angels and their fucking boomers have, like, one nerdy kid in the group. They're a huge trafficking organization. Dude, what the fuck do you mean? Like... Are you telling me that all these Hell's Angels homies are like using fucking PGP and like encrypting their conversations? No shot.
After some questioning, he admitted he was intending on moving to a different country and setting up a new seller account on this site. We don't take kindly to thieves. He's gone. I appreciate your offer to waive the fee, but if we were to sell on here, I would pay the same as everyone else. Very kind of you, though. I will be in touch.
Damn, he's being so
since
nice.
Friendly Chemist's partner, or Lucy Drop's old partner, is now taken out, Friendly Chemist is starting to get panicked. On March 29th at 10:23 a.m., Friendly Chemist would reach out once more after a long hiatus. You leave me no choice. I want $500K USD in 72 hours or I'm going to post all the info I have. I can't go back to my home. I had to move my kids and my wife somewhere and I need the money so I can move my family and start a new life. I hate to do this, but I need the money or I'm going to release it all. Over 5,000 user details and about 24 vendor identities. What's it going to be? At 3:54 that same day, DPR would respond and say, don't do anything foolish. The people that you owe money have caught up to Zin and have reclaimed their loss. I spoke and calmed them down. They're likely going to be becoming vendors here on SR. Now you can calm down too. Go back to your normal life and don't get involved with any of this stuff anymore.
Bro, why did he just give up that name? Like, that's... If I were him, I would have said like a different name to test the other guy.
At 7:43 p.m., Friendly Chemist would then come back and say, you don't think I know what they did to Zin? You think I just go on with my life? You don't know these people. I owed them money and I ran away from them. It's over.
Wait, his partner is a different person than his wife, I guess? Oh, Zin is his work partner. What kind of dumb are you? The kind of dumb that's having a hard time following this because it's like text threads.
Over for me. I need that money to start over somewhere else with my...
I thought the Hells Angels were being woke and being like his partner because like they don't know. I don't know why I thought that. The Hells Angels were being woke. I don't know why I thought that. I literally thought they meant like, you know, his partner, like his life partner. I never even thought about it, dude. Like,